Hi, I'm Tasha from Jumanji Pets. I'm the livestock manager here, and I'm here today to tell you about pet birds. Here's your guide to Budgie Care. You want to make sure you have enough space in your home. You want to keep the bird out of the direct sunlight. You want to keep it away from the kitchen, from obviously different gases, heats, and obviously ideally, you want to keep the budgie kept in room temperature. Now, when getting your budgie, you want to make sure you're taking him home in a box and not a cage. The cage can be exposed to the outside where there could be strong winds, people, different animals, anything that could really shock the bird. So you make sure you want to take it in a nice dark box, obviously with plenty of air holes. When settling the budgie in, you want to take it home, make sure the cage is already set up with all the essential items. And also you want to sprinkle some food on the floor just in case when they're stressed they might not know where their purchase is or where their food and water bowls are. So sometimes when they're stressed they do stay down at the bottom of the cage. So you want to make sure there's plenty of food there just in case. Once that everything's ready in the cage, put the box near the cage, open up the box, let the bird come out of the box in his own time. Try not to kind of take it into your own hands. The best way is to be patient and gentle and let them come out in their own time. Try not to handle them in the first week. Try and let them settle in, get them used to you, so they know, they will understand that you want to care for them and not to harm them. Right, their diet. They should have a diet with different fruits, seeds, nuts, vegetables, egg. If you give them a balanced diet, they have everything they need, therefore you're preventing yourself from a vet bill. Not only that, healthy budgie is a happy budgie. Make sure you've got all the essential items you need. Right, when cleaning the bird, make sure you take the bird out and it goes into a comfortable place. Moving the bird around out of his own will can stress the bird out. So make sure you keep him in. If you've got a second cage, or if he's nice and confident, let him fly around the room. Make sure you take everything out of the cage and disinfect the cage thoroughly, preferably with a bird disinfectant. Some of our disinfectants that we use every day may be harsh to the bird, so you want to make sure you're using disinfectant that won't harm the bird and is perfectly safe for them. Once everything's back in the cage, you can put the bird back in. Ideally, you want to keep the bird outside the cage most of the time and use the cage only for feeding, going to the toilet, for its toys, and obviously for sleeping in. Ideally, you want to keep the bird inside the cage when the bird is not being supervised. Obviously, you want to make sure the bird is safe at all times, so make sure when you're out of the house, keep the bird in the cage unless you know the area is hazard-free. In the cage, you want to have sandpaper at the bottom. This will soak up all the urine and faeces, and you want to make sure that it's changed every day to every other day. You really want to keep it nice and clean. They will perch along the floor. You want to make sure they're dirt-free, nice and clean. Also in the cage, you want to have a cuttlefish bone, which is a white fish bone, all dried. Not only that, their beaks continuously grow, so you want to make sure that when they're chewing on this will also help trim that beak and keep it nice and short. A great treat, an inexpensive treat for your bird, is millet. It's great, you shouldn't feed it every day. It is quite fattening for them, but they absolutely love it. So you want to give it 2 to 3 times a week max. It can be quite fattening for them. Birds love to bathe. Make sure you get like a mister. You can get it from a garden centre, a local pet store, or even your local pound store. Room temperature water should be sprayed amongst them. They love it. You'll see them rustling their feathers up. You spray it and they will go straight in front of that water. They absolutely love it. If you haven't got time to give them a spray every day to every other day, something's good like a bird bath. You'll see them jumping in the water. They absolutely love it. Obviously, it prevents all the dust hogging up inside their feathers. You should obviously make sure to clean the water at least twice a day with the bird bath because it can get quite messy in there. So make sure you clean it twice a day. And obviously, if you can, give them a bird bath every day. If not, every other day is fine. Mites. Mites can be a huge problem in birds. They're little red pesticides. They get inside to your budgies' coats. The mites, they can suckle on the bird's blood, and also from stress of the bird, it's very uncomfortable for them and it can cause feather loss. You want to make sure they are free of this, because the worst case scenario, stress can lead to death. So you want to make sure every 3 months you are mite spraying them. This not only kills the mites, it protects them for the next 3 months. So obviously you want to make sure that you're doing this every 3 months to prevent any kind of pesticides on your bird. Ideally, budgies in the wild, they live in a flock of birds. Therefore, kept as pets, you really want to keep them in a pair or more. We find budgies can get depressed quite easily. Therefore, kept as on their own, they can get depressed. Therefore, make sure there's plenty of mirrors and bird toys, obviously to keep them, prevent them from boredom. If you can't afford budgie toys, you can make things out of wood and plastic. Obviously, make sure they're not poisonous and obviously safe for the birds. So, that's your guide to Budgie Care. Good luck with your feathered friends. For more information, give us a call or pop in store.